Alright, so it is 3:30 in the morning. I haven't made a video in about a month. My sleep schedule's been all fucked up and other shit I had to do. Um, it's not that I haven't been busy, it's just I've been playing video games mostly, and I had time, but it didn't feel like making it because I had nothing to talk about. So anyways, I was snow blowing after a blizzard, and I had my phone in my pocket and it was dying, so I had my charger and a mobile battery pack, and this is what I hate about USB-Cs. There's no teeth on it like Micro B had, so it doesn't really stay in properly. Anyways, one thing led to another, and I think I jammed it in improperly. Um, and so now there's an issue with the connection where I have difficulty charging my phone um, and connecting it to my laptop. So if I shoot any video or take any pictures on my phone, I have difficulty plugging my phone in via USB and transferring that shit because the data connection isn't stable and sometimes doesn't work at all because the port's broken. And I remember my Note 3 was kind of the pinnacle I had for mobile phones. It was very easy to take apart. I could replace the battery very easily because it was removable. Um, I probably replaced the charger on that multiple times. It's very easy to take it apart and replace the charger for $5-10. Just buy the part and do it myself. And now the problem I'm having is in the past handful of years is more and more phones are just glued together. It's impossible to fix them. So when something does go wrong, it's very expensive. And if you're on disability and in between work, which is my thing right now, I'm on disability, been on disability most of my life. Um, I don't really have much of a work record. It's very difficult for me to find work because the job market is just complete shit. Um, even minimum wage job stocking shelves want 10 years of fucking experience, and that's just a whole nother argument. The point is, money's tight. And when money's tight, you can't really go around just buying a new $500 phone because it broke. And it's much more beneficial to be able to fix your phone. Unfortunately, if they don't sell the parts, which a lot of fucking companies don't, if they don't make it very easy to take apart in the first place, it's just better to just buy a new fucking phone. And unfortunately, that's the way we're going, and it's probably what the industry wants because it makes them more money. Um, and it kind of pisses me off, but at the end of the day, there's a lot that pisses me off about mobile phones. I don't really like Google at all. I don't really use Google other than for YouTube. Uh, that's about all I have a Google account for, if I'm being honest. I don't like the Pixel lineup because I don't like not having expandable storage. Um, in my opinion, if you're not going to offer expandable storage, the minimum internal storage should not be 64 gigs. The minimum internal storage should be 128. That's just my thing. So I use Lineage, which is Android, but it has all Google taken out. And the pros and cons of Lineage, and I've been using it a while, is you can download F-Droid and everything off F-Droid will work just fine, but you can also download what's called the Aurora Store, and that basically creates a fake account so you can browse to the Google Play Store. The problem is a lot of apps, um, like eBay's app, for example, require Google Play services, and anything that requires Google Play services will not work on Lineage. And why does eBay need Google Play services for their app? I couldn't fucking tell you. Their website works just fine, though. Um, However, I would like to switch away from Android completely, um, but there's just too many issues with doing so. Um, so I have UB ports on a OnePlus One, for example, and UB ports is a great operating system. I cannot stress enough how great UBports is. Um, Unfortunately, because there's no fucking DRM included in the web browser, um, some crucial things I use on day to day, like Spotify and Napster, for example, I can't listen to my music over the internet on UBports. There's no way of installing uh, anything to fix that either that I can find. And unfortunately, as much as I hate DRM, and I think I've made that pretty fucking clear because you don't actually own what you purchase, it does make sense for streaming services like Spotify, or if you're, running a digital store that's the equivalent of Blockbuster, where you're renting movies. I don't know why I said Blockbuster. Blockbuster's been dead for a while. But like if I rent a movie off Amazon to watch instead of going to a theater, or Fandango also does that. Um, it makes sense to have DRM for that. Um, if I'm renting something or if I'm paying a subscription to access a library, DRM makes sense. And as much as I hate DRM, it's kind of required. And without the required DRM, it kind of makes things difficult. The other problem I have with UBports is I can't access my Instagram because for whatever reason the servers of Facebook blacklist the minute you try to log into Instagram, it just gets fucking blacklisted from the servers, and so you can't access it whatsoever after that whatsoever, and it is a pain in the ass. Um, and that's kind of the problem I have with the Morph browser is it's not a great browser. I mean, it works fine for what it is, but it's not a great browser. It's not great to use, and it doesn't have any support for DRM streaming, so it's completely and utterly fucking useless. And because it's not, one of the main browsers like Firefox or Chrome, it gets blacklisted by Facebook servers. So UBports is out of the fucking question from a day-to-day standpoint, unfortunately for me. Um, the other one I could think of would be Sailfish OS, but I don't know how great that would work because really, when it comes to Linux-based operating systems for mobile, you really only have two choices, and that is Sailfish OS and UBports. Granted, there are more, but they're all very much in beta. They're not anywhere close to being daily driver available, um, and there are a lot of bugs and problems with them. UBports and Sailfish OS are the only two viable options for day-to-day drivers. And unfortunately, if I can't access uh, the web and stream music through the web, then there's really nothing I can do because it's either use the app or use the web. And if I can't use the app because I'm not using Android, um, then I'm going to be forced to use the web. And the web should be fine so long as there's DRM available. And that's not the case with the Morph browser. I'm not sure about Sailfish. I've never used it, but I might have to stick with Lineage. Um, Now, one of the promising things with like Mobian, for example, or PureOS is Flatpak support because Spotify has a Flatpak client. It is unofficial. So, if mobile phones could use Flatpak or FlatHub, uh, I think it's FlatHub I have to go to. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Yep, FlatHub. So as you can see right off the bat, your Spotify So, if Linux-based mobile phones could use Flatpak, that would probably solve my issue. Unfortunately, they can't. Um, Not very well if they can. I don't know. I don't know enough about them because they're very new. They've only come out in the past year or so. I think 2 years ago, actually. I'm not sure how long. It's very new, is my point. It's not uh, something that's been around long enough to actually be daily driver stable like UB ports or Sailfish, is basically my point I'm getting at. And this kind of sucks. The other issue is what phones can be used, because as you can see with uh, Lineage here, a lot of newer phones can be used. With UB ports, the only phone you have as an option for new phone would be the Google Pixel 3a, or whatever the fuck it's called now. I think it's the Pixel now. They actually have it available for Lineage. So if we go to Google here, yeah, the Pixel 3a and 3a XL are the only new devices UB ports has as an option. Um, and I don't really like OLED screens personally. I think they suck. They don't last as long. Um, my Note 3 that I had an OLED screen, and comparing that to the OnePlus One I have, the whites look like they're covered in piss. It literally looks like a piece of paper someone pissed on. And that's kind of the problem with OLED. They don't last a long time like LCD. And I like to keep my phones for as long as possible, and I don't want to be looking at a degraded screen with nothing I can do about it, because unfortunately that's just the way OLED works. Um, so the XA2 Ultra would be a great option for me. That's what I'm looking at getting, maybe. Unfortunately, I'd have to buy used, which that's not that bad. It's under $200, so it works out great. And I can put Lineage or Sailfish on that. Um, as much as I want to use UB ports, and I really want to use UB ports, um, having it on my old OnePlus One that I bought used off someone has really shown me the potential of the operating system, but unfortunately the flaws are just too many. The Morph browser, again, isn't one of those regular run-of-the-mill browsers, so it gets banned by Facebook. So I can't use Instagram. Um, I can't listen to music, so if I'm out and about, I can't stream my music. That's kind of an issue. Um, it's just a lot that I'd have to adjust to. I don't have the money right now to just continuously buy uh, MP3s off Amazon, which is where I go to because there is no DRM for MP3s, thankfully. Um, it's it's really a huge issue, and if we actually look at something, I actually want to show up another issue I have. Um, so the Note 3, I think it was the Note 3. It's one of the early Notes. I believe it was the 3. Had USB 3. I think it was 5 gigabit transfer speed, which is better than USB 2. Unfortunately, with USB-C, many phones operate on USB 2. And the reason why they did this is because normies didn't like the look of USB 3. They thought it was ugly. And so because of that, people like me who actually need to transfer fucking files from their phone uh, are now fucked because we have to use old USB 2 standards to transfer large video files, which fucking helps no one. And you'd think with USB 2 that, USB C, it would be a compromise. The normies would get something nice, and we'd get faster transfer speeds that can go up to theoretically 10 gigabits. Um, no one that I know of is fucking doing that, and it's a pain in the ass. Um, And this is why I hate USB-C. It's there's nothing latching it on, so it's not capable of staying in properly like USB 2 Micro B did. Um, it's still using USB 2 speed, so who gives a fuck? Like, if you're not going to offer me better speeds, I don't give a fuck about USB-C. Um, and that's just the way I feel about that. And, I mean, non-removable batteries are here to stay. There's nothing I can fucking do about it. Um, Headphone jacks. Yeah, I use Bluetooth headphones, but I like having a headphone jack just in case. Um, I mean, I prefer to use Bluetooth because, I'm 6'2" and having a 5.5 inch cable, um, five and a 5.5 foot cable, sorry, kind of gets tangled on shit and tends to damage it. So it's just one less thing I have to worry about. And I just rather have Bluetooth, honestly, for headphones. Um, so I'd be getting this model here, which has all the necessary bands for T-Mobile. I'm on Straight Talk, which is based on multiple, but my SIM card is based on T-Mobile. Um, the other thing is most content, whether it's YouTube or whatnot, is in 16 by 9. Um, so all these fancy aspect ratios with like 18:9, 19:9, all this other bullshit that they do to make it taller. Well, it's great if you're scrolling a website. If you're consuming media, it's fucking dog shit. And I actually have a phone that has a weird aspect ratio, and I can tell you, there are some websites that don't really know what the fuck to do with the screen, and so it won't format properly, and it looks like shit. Even on Instagram, if I watch anything, it doesn't know what the fuck to do with the screen. Um, so I'd much rather just have a 16 by 9 screen. I don't fucking get the appeal of making the phone thinner. I mean, my hands are fucking big. I don't give two shits. Um, I've used an 8-inch fucking tablet as a phone. Uh, so long as it fits in my pocket, I couldn't give two shits. And that's actually the other thing I was considering was Samsung has a tablet. Uh, so the Tab S5e and 6e, you can buy those with LTE, so I could use a tablet as a phone. So I don't know what I'm going to do for a phone next. I'm probably going to do the Xperia X. But as far as operating systems go, unfortunately, we are stuck with Android and iOS. Um, that's just unfortunate, but it's just the way it is. UBports is a great operating system. If it's just there's some minor issues uh, with things that require DRM, and it'd be nice to have a better browser like Firefox installed. Um, Unfortunately, when it comes to free and open source software or just companies in general, no one is really supporting these small projects like UBports. Firefox certainly ain't. Um, and it just kind of sucks. But what else are you going to do about it? And I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm going to figure out what I got to do. Uh, I got a couple weeks to do it. I don't get my check until next month anyways. So I'll see you guys in the next video.